All right, y'all. We're back another video. We're back another reaction. Backslash, let's talk about it. So we're here with a controversial video today. Is Caitlin Clark the greatest of all time in college basketball? Right. So ESPN dropped a top five players in women's college basketball of all time. This is their list right here. They have Brianna Stewart number one, Candace Parker number two, Diana Taurasi number three, Maya Moore number four, and Cheryl Miller number five. And as you can see, certain somebody is not in this list. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna watch their video. I'm gonna give you guys my honest opinion. We're gonna see how the Clarkies feel about it. We're gonna get out of here. But in my opinion, so let me start with this, right? Is Caitlin Clark top five all time? Is Caitlin Clark top five all time? Like, there's an argument for it, but it also makes sense that she's not top five because everybody in this list was either crazy in their time in college, like Brianna Stewart won four straight. Caitlin Clark can't compete with that. She didn't win not one. Stewie won four straight. Candace Parker, nasty, right? Duncan in high school and college. Made Team USA, won MVP in her rookie year in the WNBA, but we're not here to talk about W, right? Women's college. Diana Taurasi. Oh, well, Caitlin Clark was better than Diana Taurasi. Showed in the WNBA. Diana Taurasi is 98 years old in the W. She just retired. You know what I mean? But even UConn Diana Taurasi versus Caitlin Clark, and even with Candace Parker really might drop 40 on Iowa. And there's nobody stopping. This is why we need a women's college basketball video game so we can really have this discussion. Tennessee Candace Parker is destroying Iowa. Well, let's be for real, right? Diana Taurasi is gonna be the same thing. She might drop a smooth 20 to almost 30 on Iowa. Because again, who's stopping Candace Parker? You gonna put Hannah Stalky on Candace Parker? I mean, she's cool, but Candace Parker, though, it's tough, right? And Maya Moore was nasty in college. UConn, she could have been the Jordan of women's college or women's basketball, period. But her career got cut short because she took a different path, things of that nature. With Cheryl Miller, I don't know if there's too many stats on Cheryl Miller because she played in a different time era. But one thing that I will say a lot of these players have in common is that they did win a national championship or they have accolades. The resume speaks for itself. And Caitlin Clark, right? She has the broken records. But at the end of the season, what do you play for? Play for the ring. And Caitlin Clark doesn't have one. So maybe that's the reason why ESPN doesn't have her on this list is because she may have broke the records, but she doesn't have this. She's been there twice. And you can't see me happen. And South Carolina got get back. The resume speaks for itself. So boom, you can use this. And even in debates like this, they're gonna pull out the resume, right? So even just anything like acting, who's a better actor between Cuba Gooding Jr., Omar Gooding, or Omar Epps, and Denzel Washington, right? You're gonna pull up the resume. Who won more Oscars? Who won more this? Who won more that? They're gonna pull up the accolades. Same thing with the NBA. Who's more who's better between Jordan, LeBron, and Kobe? They're gonna pull out the accolades. LeBron has 50,000 points, whatever. Kobe Bryant has five championships. Michael Jordan has six championships. He has multiple Defensive Player of the Year awards. They're gonna pull out the resume. And looking at this top five resume, does Caitlin Clark really compete with that? Now, if you want to go off a skill set wise, Caitlin Clark might have, again, I don't know, might have Cheryl Miller as far as maybe skill wise, but even Cheryl Miller, yeah, stats on Cheryl Miller. Yeah, even then, like you see what I mean? This matters. This plays a huge part in being top fives, winning a national championship. You got two, three-time NCAA All-Tourney, two-time All-Tourney again, and something else. A three-time Naismith Award winner, four-time NCAA All-Region, and All-American four times. So again, it's like skill set wise, does Caitlin Clark compete with something like this? But again, here's the argument part, right? If you look at Caitlin Clark's skill set, the way how she plays, she's a shooter. She can get from point A to point B on the court with no problem. Playmaker, know that. Plays a little defense, not nothing too crazy. If I were to compare that to an NBA player, just any NBA player, I would say it's this player right here. No, I want to keep this video up. I'm gonna duplicate this really quick. If I were to compare Caitlin Clark to any NBA player, it'll be Steve Nash. Because Steve Nash was the exact same way that Caitlin Clark is now. Just Caitlin Clark is more of a 2025 version of Steve Nash, right? A player that can play make. You can't say he wasn't a good playmaker because him and Amari Stoudemire was a nasty duo. He could shoot. He was part of the 50-40-90 club. Play. He probably played better defense than Caitlin Clark, right? He was nasty. This man was playing with a broken nose. Look at this. He was nasty. Like he was really one of those ones, and he won MVP. And I know Steve Nash is not going to get the amount of love and credit because his name's not Steph Curry or Kyrie Irving. Or maybe you could even say a Jason Kidd type of player. Even then, Jason Kidd had better defense. But he was also a really good playmaker. But if you were to compare Caitlin Clark to an NBA player, in my opinion, it would be Steve Nash. Because he was the exact same way. And even if he won MVP, I believe one of those years when Kobe, it was him or Kobe. So you can see Steve Nash won two MVPs. But also like Caitlin Clark, didn't win a championship. So will he get that top five credit of all time? Hmm, to each his own, depending on who you ask, right? So again, to me, that just justifies why Caitlin Clark, and there's the argument that she can be top five skill set wise. But again, you putting players, you putting Caitlin Clark over a player that won four straight, or you even putting Caitlin Clark to guard Candace Parker. Diana Taurasi was like that. Maya Moore was like that. Cheryl Miller, we just seen her accolades. We can even look at everybody else's, right? Brianna Stewart. Brianna Stewart, UConn. Of course, you can't find it. Let's find it. Like, really look at their accolades, right? We'll do Caitlin Clark after this. But look at Maya Moore, two-time champion, three-time All Tourney NCAA, most outstanding player, four-time AP All-American, two-time Winter Award winner, Big East Player of the Year three times, Big East All Freshman Team, four-time NCAA All Region, two-time AP Player of the Year, All-American four times, Naismith winner twice, four-time All Big East in 2007, 2008. I don't know what that says. It's not highlighted, but it's another accolade. And got her jersey retired. Diana Taurasi, three-time NCAA champion, two-time All-Tourney, four-time All-American, All-Region, turning outstanding player. Like you could just see the awards just pile. Look at Candace Parker. You telling me Caitlin Clark competing with this? Two-time, three-time All ACC or All SEC, SEC tourney MVP twice, Wooden Award winner twice. AP All American 3 times, all region, and of course, this, this, and we did Cheryl Miller's. That matters. The hardware, the trophy, the jewelry, the ring, this matters. And then we look at Caitlin Clark's resume. Let's look at hers. Again, she has argumentative awards, got her jersey retired. And again, no championship. So I believe that's why ESPN didn't put her as a top 5 player and maybe possibly 6 on the list because there's no ring to it. So, that being said, let's see their reasons why.
What does it take to become a college basketball legend? Well, first, you got to get buckets. I think that's pretty undisputed. I think second, you got to be competitive, have that fire to drive your teammates, right? Third, but certainly not least, you got to win. Yeah. And you got to win a lot, right? Nobody embodied those qualities more than Diana Taurasi, who just announced her retirement from the WNBA relatively recently. So that got us thinking.
Look at the stats. Have to do a lot of winning. We just looked through all this stuff.
About her legacy. And what is her legacy exactly? Well, if you look at what she's accomplished, 3-time NCAA champion with UConn Huskies. Keep in mind, they only won one national title before she even got there. That was back in 1995. 2-time tournament most outstanding player, 2-time Big East player of the year, 2-time first-team All-American. And oh, by the way, we haven't even gotten to what she did in the WNBA. We are just talking about college.
Right, this is college. Oh, well, Caitlin Clark destroyed her in the WNBA. Yeah. Again, Taurasi was like 100 years old in basketball years, so like, you comparing that? You know what I mean? And again, Caitlin Clark also has argumentative stats, but again, there's no winning. End of the season, what do you play for? And since there's nothing there, it kind of, left her off the list again. 3-time Big Ten Player of the Year, 4-time All-American, 2-time Wooden Award winner, 4-time All-American, Big Ten Tourney Championship winner. Yeah, it's argumentative stats for it, but
right now.
There's no ring to it.
So, looking at her incredible resume, guys, with all of those accomplishments, we now ask, is Diana Taurasi the greatest women's college basketball player to ever exist? Now, before we start stressing about this assignment, this is just we're doing it for fun, right? And we want to hear your guys' comments in YouTube. Let's keep it PG rated.
It spicy. I like that.
Okay, fair enough. But when we look at this list, and it's going to be really tough to come up with the top 5 players. Diana Taurasi, I think, is going to be on this list somewhere. The question is, where exactly is she going to be on this list? So let's go ahead and pull up our touchscreen here, and we will pick the top 5 players. Look,
I know a lot of people are going to say that this is like hate. Whatever. I don't know. We'll see.
There's not
when we look up, the Clarkies, how they feel about it.
Yeah, that's the funny thing about this whole argument with Diana is that she's probably not even the best college player from her own program. Oh! Testament to UConn.
I know where you're going.
Yeah, we have to go with Brianna's story. I'm sorry. The 4 championships, the 4 tournament most outstanding player awards. I just think the resume speaks for itself there.
Listen, when you talk about Diana Taurasi in particular.
The resume speaks for itself. When you pull up debates like this, it is who was better resume-wise. It speaks for itself.
Gino said
who is better, LeBron, Kobe, Jordan? You're going to put LeBron 50,000 points, being in the NBA 22 years, longer longevity than both Jordan and Kobe, right? Jordan, 6 rings, no game 7, defensive player of the year, multiple times. He just one of the coldest ever, right? And Kobe, same thing. Multiple MVPs, they all won MVPs, right? Kobe has 5 championships, Mamba mentality. They all have their own reasoning.
She's the best winner of all time. I'm looking at the best winner of all time, Brianna Stewart. And we're not, too old to remember, too young to remember. They had like a string of 100 wins. Like
111.
They didn't lose.
They did not lose. And they don't have as much help as we would think around them. Like, I mean, let's not get crazy.
Yeah.
McDonald's All-American.
I get what you're saying.
But Stewie really got out there and showed what it took to win, and not just like subtle wins, but like dominant
I'm still
wins.
stuck on Stewie shuffling her feet in the finals. But we're not here talking about that.
My friend played against them in one of the island tournaments.
This team was crazy.
They beat them like 113.
Kia Nurse.
It wasn't even like like a little
But that's
grace
not
period here.
abnormal. That was a normal occurrence.
And it's all going through Brianna Stewart.
All goes for Stewie.
Yeah.
One loss from her sophomore through senior
She
year.
didn't know how to
One
lose.
loss.
Comical.
They didn't know how to lose.
All I do is win, 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 no
She
matter
did not
what.
real quick, that freshman year was tough for her because
Yeah.
she turned it on at the right time, played her best basketball in March, and that's why she's a 4-time champion, not just even a 3-time champion.
And a four-time
Brittany Griner being on the list, I don't think that really makes sense. I
tournament
mean, I know she dunking too, but
most outstanding player.
Yeah.
Like, not only did you get the championship, but you were the best one on the championship team each time.
Asia
Okay.
Wilson.
All right, we start with one. Let's work our way backwards now.
Oh,
We'll work our way
I
backwards
know, Sam.
Why is it all the way up here? That's super loud.
from 5 to 1. I'm going by what I'm told. So let's go.
It's screaming in your ears.
Let's go number 5. Obviously,
Whoa,
there are players.
sorry
There are
guys.
so many players that could fit in the
I
top.
wonder why is it so
We
loud?
almost have to do a 5A and 5B, but let's give me a number 5.
But what I was saying, Brittany Griner being on this list, I don't think that makes sense. I mean, I know she dunking too, but Asia Wilson could be up here, but I don't think she really compete with a Candace and
Give me
Tarasi.
something. Give me something.
Okay.
Sorry.
I'm going to start with Cheryl Miller.
Okay.
Your favorite player's favorite player. I'll put her 5. Right?
Mm.
Like, Cheryl Miller was the truth. She's a 2-time NCAA champion, 2-time tournament most outstanding player, 3-time Naismith player of the year, and Jersey retired at SC, and now we can see a resurgence of the University
Yeah, she's probably the best player they had since Juju Watkins.
of Southern California. Right now with Juju Watkins, she's in the front row cheering them on.
Or she was, I mean, of course she was before Juju Watkins, but this is probably the best player they had. Juju Watkins is the best player they had since Cheryl Miller. You know what I'm trying to say. And there was no 3-point line.
She didn't have the
They playing all
to
twos.
play in the WNBA, so I think sometimes her
Oh, there's a 2-point line. I was
she
ready to say, where's the
didn't
2-point,
fully,
3-point
give
line?
the shine it deserves. But she was such a transcendent player in college. She is, and some people you talk to, she is their GOAT. So I think that she's absolutely
Juju Watkins herself.
in this top 5.
She's
Maybe
my
higher.
goat.
Yeah,
My goat.
there you go.
I think something that's going to be in common for all of these players, numbers are retired.
Yep.
Numbers are retired in their respective home arenas. All right. Let me throw a little wrinkle in here.
Okay. There we
What
go.
if we switched?
Ooh.
I'm just saying.
Mm.
Okay, well,
This
Sam,
is all food
yeah,
for thought.
So here's the thing. Love Caitlin.
Let's
love
hear
her
this.
transcended the game. I'm not going to go away from that, but in the open, we said, what makes a top 5 player? Winning. The only strike against Caitlin Clark is that she has not won a national championship.
It's
And
fair.
I didn't watch this video. I didn't watch not 1 second of this video, and I told you they were going to do this. I told you. I specifically told you they were going to do this. I told you.
what makes a top 5 player?
Told you.
Winning. So,
They're going to pull up Caitlin Clark not winning. They're going to pull this up and use this against her. I told y'all this.
the only strike against Caitlin Clark is that she has
That she did not win a national championship. Yes, she broke the record, but this matters at the end of the season. That's what you play for.
And that is the only thing that you can put against her because the way she has dominated the record books when she
So
was
yeah, I would say she's probably 6.
at Iowa,
If that's the case, she's
something you
number
could
6 all
go
time.
three-time NCAA scoring leader and assist leader,
Yeah.
a true point guard for the people, 3-time All-American, 2-time Naismith Player of the Year, 2-time AP Player of the Year, all-time leading scorer. She broke the records of Kelsey Plum and Sabrina. Like literally, there is nobody who has been such a front-facing name through a direct reflection of her skill set. But how can you be a top 5 player if you have not won a title?
It's a great point, which is why.
And again, that's why I brought up the point with Steve Nash, right? One of the coldest NBA players of all time, but he won't get that credit because he didn't win an NBA championship.
Convince me, Ari. We're switching them
If
back.
I'm not mistaken, I didn't see him on a championship team.
And we read
He was on the Lakers for a while, but that was kind of like a retirement home team.
Cheryl
Dwight Howard wasn't really hooping. Kobe Bryant tore his Achilles. Steve Nash got old.
Miller's
And then Steve Nash on the Suns. Just like that. Played with a broken nose. Won 2 MVPs. Ashley with the dimes. Him and Amari Stoudemire was amazing. But you know, Kobe got them out the way. Hit him with the goat pose.
resume.
But we're not here to talk about
she's
the
a winner.
NBA.
She's a winner multiple times. But
Player that could get from point A to point B, could shoot, do whatever you need him to do.
You need to leave Caitlin off this list because of the record, because of what she's done outside of those 94 feet. She has really thrust women's basketball in the mainstream. She has collected her individual
yeah.
accolades. I
get it.
Alexa,
I hear you. I get it.
Oh.
If picking 5 was hard, picking the final
Alexa,
from
jump
here
in on
would be
this.
even harder.
Help
So,
me.
Alexa, help us out with number 4. Help us out with number 4.
Okay.
We got some more players here, by the way.
I was gonna say we're missing someone that I think needs to be in this conversation. Now, you guys tell me if because I live in Connecticut, have too much of a of a UConn mind
Well,
frame
you got
here.
two
Maya
UConn fans
Moore,
on the set.
and they got 3 UConn players in top 5.
You can't
And Gino got
you
lucky.
can't say Maya Moore isn't top 5. Like we're gonna be on your side, Alexa.
I just want to make sure here, but I mean, again,
This was like Jordan. She wore 23 and
2
everything.
titles. We're talking about a 4-time All-American.
But, her career got cut short because she took a different path,
Someone
but
who
still.
was transcendent in the way she played, of course.
Even with the links.
I think we have to have
Crazy.
right?
And I know this is about college, but when you look at her pro career, she's done so much in such a short time and has really, really just produced. And that's a direct reflection of what she did in college too. Production. She gives you production. She's the one that you never, ever, ever want to face.
Right.
Ever.
She did it all too.
She gives you production. She's the one that you never, ever, ever want to face. Production. She gives you production. She's the one that you never, ever, ever want to face.
I don't have my sounds up.
Right. Ever. She did it all too. I mean,
Everything.
the way that she was just like a two-way
You never, ever, ever want to face.
force.
Told you this is Maya Moore could have been Jordan.
When you look
I'm
at her record,
telling you, or Kobe or somebody.
UConn or just more broadly. I mean, she was top 10 leaderboard in so many different categories. So I think she gets a lot of credit for what she's able to do in that.
One of my favorite movies, The Sandlot. Heroes get remembered, legends never die. Legend right there in Maya Moore. And obviously, we have some more legends to fill in here, Ari. I'm coming to you for number 3.
This whole segment we started out talking about Diana Taurasi. So can I pull it? Can I try?
Go ahead.
Do
Yeah.
it.
Oh, this is
You got it. You killed it.
Sam, you make
We got a lot of UConn on this list. We got a lot.
That's
We're
a
gonna hear it.
testament to
Taurasi
what
number
UConn has
3.
built over the years. Ariema has sustained success and dominant sustained success with Connecticut teams, no matter which generation. Diana Taurasi, y'all heard it already before. Why she's so dominant. Why she will be remembered as one of the GOATs completely. She's a winner. She is the villain. Sue Bird was talking about on her podcast how if Diana was born later in life, that she would be the Caitlin Clark of it. Like she would literally. She's. Diana was born later in life, that she would be the Caitlin Clark of it. Like she would literally. She's what everybody loves. Born later in life, that Sue Bird was talking about on her podcast how if Diana was born later in life, that she would be the Caitlin Clark of it. Like she would literally, she's what everybody loves, a winner.
Yeah.
She's a producer. She's the villain. She loves. She thrives in that type of.
No, the Clarkies, they know. No, Taurasi can never be King Clark. You know how they get.
We're running out of time.
Oh no, this is why we need a college basketball video game so we can have these discussions.
So I want to get.
So we could really debate who was better. ESPN, send a link. Like, what's up? We need the games.
Of course, real quick about Diana. Obviously, she was on that 2002 team, which is arguably one of the greatest teams of all time. But I think what makes her a perfect fit for this top 5 is because she really carried those UConn teams in 2003 and 2004 on her back. Those teams did not have a bunch of All-Americans. They really just it was her and her will to uplift others around her that she was able to lead those teams to titles. So I love that she was on this list.
The beginning of the true dynasty. Sorry,
I'm going to go with number 2, and let's throw a little orange and white in
there we go.
here.
Got to get some Tennessee in here.
Go, Candace Nicole Parker, step up to the plate, honey.
When you're talking about the UConn, time frame, when all 3 of these players were playing, there was one team out there that would give them some trouble. Candace Parker in Tennessee was that team. You look at what she has accomplished in her career: 2-time champion, 2-time most outstanding player. Not only won the championship,
Look at this.
but she was most outstanding.
Chad, look at this. What? Come on, bro. Like, look at this. What are we really talking about? What are we talking about? This is the second player to dunk in the WNBA. And look at this college highlight. Like, just throw the ball up there. I'm dunking this. Was 15. You're not LeBron, baby. You ain't getting up there and swatting this. What are we really talking about, chat? Like, come on.
I think when you're looking at duration,
look at this.
That she had at Tennessee and elevating a program, it's hard to pick somebody else outside of Candace Parker.
She did it the same team?
Twice, but she was the most outstanding player in that tournament.
Bro, I know she ain't just dunked twice in the same game, dog. Hold on. Yeah, that's dude. I could tell from the colors.
Program, it's hard to pick
Bro, this the same team she dunked on twice?
This is our
Bruh.
We want to hear from you guys at home, though, in YouTube. Give us hit in the comments.
It's just the fact that it's multiple highlights of her dunking.
It's challenging to pick the 5, but obviously when you make these top 5 lists, somebody inevitably gets left off. Who do you have the biggest gripe with getting left off?
I mean, we talked about Caitlin, obviously, but I also Brittany Griner. I'm like, how do we not have her? I mean, that was a player that really had such an impact on the college game.
Alyssa, the 3 to C, and then let's not forget.
Yeah, I mean, Brittany Griner, Yeah, she's not making top
She
five.
was texting and tweeting us about how she's about to throw it down and dunk that after she promised. What?
No, and a champion in her own right too.
Literally.
Let us know your
Yeah,
thoughts. Let us know your thoughts at home.
man, it ain't Cheryl Miller and them either
This
though. But
all circles
respectfully,
around the GOAT, Diana Taurasi, who on a personal note was the first autograph that I ever got going to UConn games growing up, living in Connecticut. So gracious with
We
the
need a
time.
little Sam picture.
Look, it's bittersweet. It's bittersweet. You know, she's a legend. Growing up watching her play and watching all of these incredible women play was incredible in their own right. All right, let us know what you think at home. Did we get it right? Did we get it wrong? I don't know.
yeah, we'll see. Let's look at the Clarkies how they feel about it. Oh, here we go. Type in documentaries. Zero people would have watched this without the clickbait Caitlyn on the cover. Yeah, man, you know you gotta put Caitlin Clark on the cover for the clicks. No, that get down. We said three different criteria. You have one scoring, two fire, three win. Brianna Stewart, no, didn't lead the league. Two, yes. Three, yes. Candace Parker, no, didn't lead the league. Two, yes. Three, yes. Yes, three-time NCAA. Fire, yes. Win, no. No one, not Tarasi, not Stewie. No one could ever lead or led that Iowa team to as much success as Caitlin Clark. Don't get it. It's a team sport. They seem to go by team wins here. And they great individual players. Can someone please explain? Number one best player, Caitlin Clark, not even close. Told you they're not putting her number one based off of her winning. I told y'all this. Like there's argumentative statements you can make about this, but even then they're not gonna do it because Stewie won four straight, even if it is at UConn. They're gonna put her number one. Candace Parker was nasty. You just seen her dunking. Diana Taurasi. Oh, they did their accolades. Maya Moore, Cheryl Miller. But again, I already knew the Clarkies they was gonna assemble and say that this is absolutely ridiculous. This is ludicrous. Caitlin Clark is number one. End of story. You spoke about her for 30 seconds and kicked her out of the top five, but used her name in a title 11-minute video. It's funny. You know how they do. This is YouTube. I told y'all this. This is YouTube. This you gotta put her up there. Again, I have no problem with Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark to me is more of a Steve Nash kind of player. Very entertaining to watch. 2025 version of Steve Nash. If I can get to point A to point B, can score, win MVPs. I mean, Kobe got him out the way, but that's neither here or there. What else? I mean, and then even with stuff like this, right? The fire, like how they were saying on the comment section. I have no problem with Caitlin Clark talking her ish. Shut up, you're down 15. You know, what else? You can't see me waving off Raven Johnson. Where is that video at? Is it in here? You can't see me, or let's see, where's that Raven Johnson video at? This is gonna lead to the point about fire when I find it. Let's see. Shut up, you're down 15. You can't see me. Right here, her waving off Raven Johnson in the final four. Again, I have no problem with Caitlin Clark talking her stuff. But again, when other players do it, it's a problem. It's an issue. If you're Caitlin Clark, you say that. Say it with your chest out. And when other people, this is why people don't like Caitlin Clark. And it's not really necessarily her, it's her fan base. You could support her, which is cool. Cheryl Miller just caught heat for supporting Caitlin Clark. Called her raccoon, baboon, and all that. That's actually insane because all she said was she could relate to her in a way of dealing with hate with the media. I called out her name, all kind of crazy stuff, right? But when people are not fans of Caitlin Clark and they don't really care for her taunting and when other players taunt or when they do it to her, it's an issue. It's a problem. Why would you root for, quote unquote, why would you root for Asia Wilson, Angel Reese, Juju, Page, Van Lith, whoever, because their name is not Caitlin Clark is a problem. But even, that's just, it's just a lot, you know? And I made a video. This is the last segment, right? And we're gonna end this video off. I've said, and shout out to the Pope, B Frank. He's doing his thing on YouTube. Shout out to him, right? Said this time and time again in this video, Caitlin Clark is an amazing player to watch. Said this in a video 2 months ago. She's great to watch, but Caitlin Clark also causes brain rot to the point where you could watch Caitlin Clark all day and say that there's no other player that can compete with her. Just like how we watch the top five players, and a lot of people still feel as Caitlin Clark is better than all five of them. Here's another example of when I say stuff like Caitlin Clark causes things like this.
Thank you for Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark.
Whoa, screaming, screaming, screaming.
Hang with the dude. Caitlin Clark shoot further. Let me show you. Caitlin Clark shoot further than any NBA player, including Steph Curry. Caitlin Clark shoot further than any NBA player, including Steph Curry. Caitlin Clark shoot further than any NBA player, including Steph Curry.
When I heard that, I would have crashed out. I crashed out. Not even I would have. I crashed out when hearing that. Because Steph Curry, he has caused so much. Like, it's like I'm losing brain cells sometimes. It's like, dude, there is no way you think Caitlin Clark shoots farther than Steph Curry. The last player they tried to put up against Steph Curry that was in the WNBA, you see how that turned out. Steph Curry is the reason why LeBron could never be the GOAT, because he was in the way of three of those championships, 15, 17, and 18. Steph Curry has caused 29 teams to have PTSD. You know, there's really 30, but the Warriors don't count because he plays for the Warriors. 29 teams that call PTSD because of guarding Steph Curry. This is the same person that saved America from being either silver or bronze medalist. One gold. USA. This is the same player that broke a video game. Steph Curry back in NBA 2K16 had a commercial specifically about him saying that his character wishes he could be him in real life. You could have terrible release timing and the shot will still go in because it's Steph Curry. This is regarded as the greatest shooter that God has ever created, according to Stephen A. Smith. And this?
Shoot further. Let me show you. Caitlin Clark shoot further than any NBA player, including Steph Curry.
So maybe I was thinking like, okay, he said Seth Curry. Seth, the brother. You know, because respectfully, Seth Curry, you know, doing his thing with the Duke or whatever. Just he's doing his thing still in the NBA. But you know Seth Curry as Steph Curry's brother. Like it's Steph Curry and then it's Steph Curry brother. He said
shoot further. Let me show you. Caitlin Clark shoot further than any NBA player, including Steph Curry.
Steph Curry though, really though, I don't even know if she shoot farther than Damian Lillard as a hot take. Steph Curry, you could pull up the farthest Caitlin Clark three you could pull up. It's still not farther than Curry because Curry shoot from the other side of the court. His practice shot is shooting from the tunnel. Mind you, the tunnel is over here and the court is like way over here somewhere. And he's practicing shooting and making that shot. But Caitlin Clark shoots crazier shots, shoots farther shots, attempts more farther shots than Steph Curry. Mm-mm, no, no. And even with this take, right? Because I did watch this some of this podcast, right? Even with G5 and Juju's the real goats, he brought up the eye test. The eye test, I can't really agree with that too much because that only goes so far. You know what I mean? For example, right? You look at Juju, you think like, yeah, she's going to the league. Body frame, got the height. She's going to the league. Going to W, right? Even if you want to put it in NBA terms, Jason Tatum, this was Jason Tatum at one point. Looked like CJ from Whoopty. They look like they could be cousins at some point, right? Look, just alike. But this Jason Tatum, right here, this Jason Tatum right here, the skinny light skin, dunked on LeBron in 2018 Game 7 Conference Finals. He dunked on LeBron. You wouldn't think he wouldn't do that. He's from St. Louis, Missouri. And he dunked on LeBron. And even if you want to keep it between Juju and Caitlin Clark, you look at Caitlin Clark, like, you want to pick her up in ones or in fives? You want to pick Caitlin Clark up in five just based off the eye test. Again, you don't know Caitlin Clark can even play basketball. You see her walk in a 24-hour fitness. And you looking at her like, some of y'all a little sensitive, but it has to be said because a lot of people think this way, right? Look at Caitlin Clark like, look at these spaghetti arms. Like, You want to pick her up in fives and threes? Party in the USA? Swifty? You're not picking her up in fives and threes and twos until she gets on the court and starts going, oh, and all of that she does in the games. They're like, oh, she really can play. This is basically Steve Nash in 2025. She getting up and down the court, drawing fans' attention, media attention. It's gonna come back. I know y'all tired of seeing Juju Watkins. I know it's driving y'all crazy, but give it about a month and a half, maybe a month, maybe less than a month. Because the tournament's coming up, and right after the tournament is the draft, and we back into the WNBA. We back into the ghetto. Back into them streets of the W. The media will be drooling back over Kevin Clark again. Stephen A. Smith will drop multiple videos. Shannon Sharp, ESPN. They're gonna start talking about Caitlin Clark again. Juju will be back in the dark again, like how they do her. And Caitlin Clark will be back in the forefront. So don't worry, Clarkies. It's okay. It's okay. She'll be back in the media again. You just had to give her a little, give her a little break. She needed a break. She played too much basketball. I know y'all scratching and fiending for some Caitlin Clark highlights, some new updated ones. And then I seen this picture of Caitlin Clark recently when she was flexing. Let me see if I find this picture we're in the video. Now, I don't know how real this picture is because Caitlin Clark kind of jacked in this picture. If this is the real picture and not AI, this is what she needs to be hearing all next season. She needs to go boxing and go fight Clarissa Shields. Because why in the world is Caitlin Clark? I mean, there was a couple of pictures of Caitlin Clark looking strong last year, but this right here, I mean, you still got her bodyguards, regardless. I mean, somebody said Sophie Cunningham does karate, jujitsu, whatever. I better see her go ahead and start breaking arms next season if that's the case. But we'll see. And again, Cheryl Miller, supported Caitlin Clark. I mean, that's to each his own. That's your opinion, your take on it. It's kind of, to me, it's kind of like unjustified because she supports Caitlin Clark and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. Cheryl Miller says her body looks great or whatever. That's on her. You ain't gotta call her all types of names because she supports Caitlin Clark. But anyways, that's the end of this video. I don't want this video to be an hour, but it ended up being an hour anyway. We're going to fill out our brackets today. I did make a video doing a predictions, regardless of region, how far I think these teams will go this year. But I'll still fill out the bracket anyway. And I don't like filling out brackets because either A, I'm gonna run into one of my favorite teams this season, and my head's gonna start hurting because I don't know who to pick. And The teams that I do expect to win and they lose, I'm crashing out when I make the YouTube video. So, that being said, that's the end of this one. You guys let me know down below in the comments how you feel about ESPN's top 5 rankings. Do you feel as if Caitlin Clark was being hated on once again? Or do you feel like the top 5 list was accurate? Again, top 5 list was Brianna Stewart, number 1, Candace Parker, number 2, Diana Taurasi, number 3, Maya Moore, number 4, and Cheryl Miller, number 5. And I will see you guys in the next video, man.